2, unité, feu. Allumage.
On June 4, 1996, the Ariane 5 launch vehicle, which cost over $7 billion to develop, was launched from the European Launch Vehicle range in Kourou, France, and disintegrated and exploded 37 seconds later. The investigation report 2 weeks later stated that the cause of the accident came from an internal program integrity overflow vulnerability of the rocket. Since then, integer overflows have been in the spotlight, and in the blockchain security space, overflow vulnerabilities are also common high-risk security vulnerabilities. This is Knownsec Blockchain Lab, and in this video we will take you through the overflow vulnerability. First, we need to know what overflow is. The concept of overflow is commonly understood as the incoming data from outside the program that is larger than its specified data type can express, resulting in an incorrect expression that is not expected by the normal program. You may ask, what is the use of overflow? According to the monitoring of Knownsec Blockchain Lab, in traditional security, overflows are generally used as a means of hacking the operating system. The specific vulnerability types are buffer overflow, memory overflow, data overflow. Overflow problems in traditional security generally occur with string-type data, where the user submits data that exceeds the size of the string allocated by the program, resulting in overriding the system data structure and eventually causing the program flow to change. According to the monitoring of Knownsec Blockchain Lab over the years, overflow is also used as a hacker's attack method in blockchain security. But due to the special nature of blockchain assets, hackers no longer target just the operating system, but more on the smart contracts that build the vitality of the blockchain ecosystem. The overflow problem of blockchain security generally occurs with unsigned integer data, where the data submitted by the user is calculated to end up with a result that exceeds the range of values it can represent, resulting in a final result that exceeds expectations. Let's take a look at the Solidity language integer overflow problem. Solidity is the official recommended language for writing smart contracts in Ether, and its language characteristics can represent the characteristics of blockchain to a certain extent. Knownsec Blockchain Lab has studied the history of many integer overflow attacks on smart contracts written in Solidity, the most typical of which are the Big Bitcoin integer overflow in 2010, in which hackers created 184 billion bitcoins through an integer overflow void. On April 22, 2018, the BEC smart contract was hacked and a large number of BEC coins were removed out of thin air for selling. On April 25, 2018, the SMT project found anomalies in its transactions, and hackers exploited its function vulnerabilities to create a large number of SMT coins for selling. The above example makes it clear that the integer overflow vulnerability is an extremely dangerous vulnerability that can turn virtual currencies into Zimbabwean coins if they are not careful. The events caused by this vulnerability include but are not limited to overminting, overpurchasing, random minting, high selling and low receiving, and under-overflowing. In other words, the overflow vulnerability is the inflation-making machine of the blockchain world. And putting aside the application scenario, the integer overflow in Solidity generally refers to variables of unsigned integer type. When the result of a certain arithmetic calculation exceeds the range of values it can express, the phenomenon of overflow and underflow will occur. Overflows are further divided into integer overflows and integer underflows. The UINT bad data type can store values in the range of 0 to 255. So in the UINT bad type of value 255 to do the addition of one operation will cause the integer overflow in the underlying calculation because of the retention of 8-bit binary. Discard the high bit and get the value of 0. Similarly, the value 0 of UINT8 type will cause an integer overflow when it is subtracted by 1, which also results in a value yinsun the underlying calculation because the high bits are discarded in the reserved 8-bit binary. How do we prevent integer overflow? Use the SAFEMATH library, which is the most practical method. Secondly, check whether all the computation processes in the specific computation process are logical using the methods in the SAFEMATH library. Third, use a higher version of Solidity language. The higher version of the compiler has checked for integer overflow when compiling the Solidity smart contract. So you may ask, can you get security even if you don't know the security technology? Yes. You must be able to. Follow Knownsec Blockchain Lab to take you into the world of blockchain security.